bookworms. Today is April 1st. I don't have an April Fool's joke for you, so sorry. But today I wanted to talk to you about a March book haul, what books I read in March, and what I plan on reading in April. So, haul, TBR, wrap-up, all in one, I guess. I only make one video a week, so I figured I would do a haul in one. Okay, so let's start with what I read this month. So far, I'm actually filming this on Wednesday, so I'm a couple days ahead. But I have read 5 books this month. I want to clarify with that. One was a book that I didn't finish, but it is on my Goodreads as a review, though it is a DNF. If you don't know what a DNF is, it means I did not finish. Pretty simple. And there's one novella, and I'm working on a second novella right now. So 5 books. This month, so the first one that I read this month was Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake. I gave that a 5-star review. I really liked how dark it was. It's about these 3 sisters that are queens for each of these clans, and once they come of age, they have to pretty much do a battle to the death to determine who will be the next queen. And one is a queen of poisoning, one is a queen of nature, and the last queen is the queen of elemental magic. And their interactions with their court and their interactions with each other was really interesting, and I really enjoyed that book. I'm really excited for the next one and reading other books by Miss Blake. The next book that I read, this was the book that I DNF'd. I'd been reading it, attempting to read it for a while in February and just couldn't get through it, and that was The Elven Tales, The Company of the Rose. I know I'm going to butcher your name, but it's Fabi Gittoni. She is an Argentinian poet that was looking for reviewers, so I did reach out. I gave it an honest attempt to read, but sadly I could not get through it. There is a review for most of these that I'm going to talk about on my blog, so I will link those down below. The next book is the series of the next few books are from the series of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel by Michael Scott. I get to meet Michael Scott next Wednesday, so I did a major reread of his books, and I'm still working on a few of them, so they'll be in my TBR file. But the first book that is by him that I read is called The Alchemist, and I don't really know how you do series reviews overall, so the first book is The Alchemist, and there's 2 twins that work in a bookshop and a cafe respectively across the street from each other, and Josh and Sophie are at work when suddenly this man comes to the bookstore and destroys it while looking for a book that the owner, Nick Fleming, should have. Come to find out that Nick Fleming is actually Nicholas Flamel, the alchemist. You might recognize the name from Harry Potter. It is the same character, but in a different world, in a way. It's a really interesting series. So I read that first book, and I read the second one. The second book, which is The Magician. The story continues, things like that, and as Sophie and Josh become more involved with Nicholas Flamel, become more involved with the magical world, with lots of mythological people throughout history, like all the gods and goddesses, and famous people throughout history, like Joan of Arc and Nicholas Flamel, his wife, William Shakespeare, all these people they become in contact with. So I read the second book. I am currently listening to the third one on audiobook, so I can show you what that cover looks like. So that is the cover for the third book. I'm a little more than halfway through it right now. So I read that, and I also read I'm working on 2 novellas by him right now. The first one I got through very quickly, and it was The Death of Joan of Arc, The Lost Story of the Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel. The story is briefly mentioned in the books, so he went on to write a novella of it. And this is the cover for that. And I think that's it for books that I've currently read. I might get through a few more books by Saturday. Don't think I will fully get through them. I'm in the middle of quite a few books, so I wanted to talk about that. The first book that I'm really in the middle of, and I've been in the middle of for a while, is Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, Book 2, The Hammer of Thor. Now, if you've watched my videos, you know that this was in the first video I made, which was a February book haul, a Valentine's Day book haul. And you know that this was loaned to me by a friend. Well, I've had the book for over a month. I've only gotten about halfway through it. You can see I'm just under half. It's not because I don't like the book. It's just that I don't have time to sit down and read it for some reason. I really do want to finish it. I just haven't had the motivation to sit down and read it. So I'm going to see if I can get it either as an ebook or an audiobook from my library. I have seen it. It's like on my wish list. I had a physical copy. But I need to give it back to Elena. So I'm going to say goodbye to the physical copy, but it did make me happy seeing it in my room. So probably going to have to buy my own. So this is one of the books that I'm currently reading that I'm taking a little bit to get through. The second book is actually a book that I bought this month. So I'm going to do a little bit of a half segue to the books that I did in my haul. So the first book that I bought this month was an ebook. I've got my tablet in front of me, and it is called The Inquisition. It's part of the Summoner series, and it is book 2. And it is book 2. It's a continuation. I'm in the middle of like 4 series right now, which makes it difficult to do reviews because you don't want to give anything away that happened in the first book. But this is the second book, and I really, really like the cover. I don't know if I can zoom in. Oh, tablet. Stop it. Can I zoom in? Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Well, this is the cover of it. I did a review with my little brother, actually, over on my blog of the first book, and I'm trying to finish this before I go home next weekend. I am 48% through it, so I should be able to get through it this week. But I want to do a review with my little brother. He's 10, 11. Doesn't matter. But I want to do a review with him because I did a review on my blog the first time we read the first book, so I want to continue it and do like a little series. He doesn't know it yet, but maybe when I'm home next Wednesday, we can film a little video together. The second book is a book that I didn't really know existed until I got into BookTube. And I'm really excited to start it because I've been hearing about it everywhere. And that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I somehow have really made it through without knowing too much about this series, besides the fact that I think this is Selena is the assassin, and she has to like fight some people to get her freedom. And apparently it's a really good series, and I'm really honestly excited to start this. So I got it when I went to Barnes & Noble's over the weekend. I don't know, but I'm excited to start this. I'm going to try to start this in April. I don't know how that's going to go. I have quite a few books on my floor right next to me that I want to get to. But I'm also starting Camp NaNoWriMo, and my goal is 30,000 words, so about 1,000 words a day. But I'm also in 3 plays, and I have final papers to write. So I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done, but I have a very ambitious pile next to me for wanting to. So this is the last book that I bought this month. I only bought 2 books, which isn't really too bad for me because I go through stages of buying tons of books and then not buying any. But yeah, so this was the second book that I bought this month. It's also on my TBR list. So to be read in April is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I want to start the series. The next books that are dropping things. The next books that are on my TBR are the last 3 books in the Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel. So, that being said, the Necromancer is book 4. I'd like to get through that. Book 5 is the Warlock, right? This is book 5? Yes. Book 5 is the Warlock. Book 4. Book 5. And book 6 is the Enchantress. And I think this one might be the biggest book, but it's not much bigger than the others. Enchantress is book 5, or 6, I should say. And I'm hoping to get through this. The last book on my TBR list is one that I bought in February. Again, this will be another time you've seen it. And that is Caraval. I've heard some up and down reviews since after it came out. When it first came out, it was like, yes, 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 this is a great book. Please go get it. But since it's kind of died down a little bit, I've heard some more problems with it, but that kind of just makes me want to read it more, so I understand, like, why it's so different. So this is also on my to be read in April. I'm fairly positive that these 2 may get bumped up to May, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to try to get through them any less. So yeah, that is my haul and TBR and wrap up. So yeah, it's a pretty good pile of books. It's kind of a mixture, but you wouldn't know that unless I told you. Ha! Alright. I hope you're all having a great week and a great start to April. Hope not too many people are playing April Fool's jokes on you. What's on your TBR list? What do you want to read in April? Or what did you read in March that you really liked? That you think maybe I would like, looking at my pile of fantasy books, because that's pretty much all I read. So I'd like to see what other people are reading. So I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you later. All of my links will be in the description below. In most places you can find me as the Scripturant 101. On Twitter it is Scripturant Dean. So I'll see you next week with another video. Bye!